Your today's topic is about effective presentation skills. As we have done two topics of report writing, and we are done with that, uh, technical report writing and annual report writing. So now the other topic is about effective presentation skills. When we talk about effective presentation skills, we talk about, like, obviously we need to know some of the strategies that we have to apply while presenting a presentation. So that's what. Before moving for that, I would like to introduce you guys what basically presentation is. Presentation means a communication. Communication through what? Communication through your speaking. Speaking is about not only you speak through words, but also you portray or you demonstrate some of the ABAs. So in that way, you when you adapt it and when you bind it with your speaking, you present something. That's a presentation. So presentation is not only just randomly you are going to present it. That means there are some situations where you need to talk. So in that situation, what you requires, there must be a group of people with whom you are talking, or you are addressing in a meeting, or you are briefing to your team. So that's why a presentation is a means of communication which can be adapted to various speaking situations, such as talking to a group, addressing a meeting, or briefing a team. Then, if it is presentation, then presentation is having another way. That means what presentation is in its way. It's a structured, prepared, and speech-based means of communication of information. I'm sorry. And ideas to a group of interested people in order to inform or persuade them. What it means, if you have structured your presentation and prepared your speech to convey the information to your audience whom you wanted to convey, that means according to their own requirement, they will attend. If that topic needs to their needs, they will be interested into your topic and they will attend your presentation. When they are attending, it doesn't mean they are just going to attend and you are just going to convey it. It means what you, when you are giving them that piece of information through your presentation, then you also have to convince them on your point. Presentation doesn't mean you're just going to talk and you just going to finish it. Whatever you wanted to talk, you just conveyed it and that's it. No, it means as well, like, you have to convince them on your point of view. So when we talk about this, we say that in presentation skills, we require some like content. What content include into it? It is about, first we required 4P. 4P's mean, like, first one is plan, second one is prepare, third one is practice, and fourth one is present. That is the last one. First you will plan your presentation, then you prepare that presentation, and after preparation of your presentation you practice on it before presenting, and then the last your task is you are ready towards you are ready to move towards your presentation. When we talk about this kind of demonstration, we talk about we need first do planning for it. So for planning, what we need to have, we have to keep in mind what is basically our audience of address, whom we are going to address. If we have noticed that, then after that we have to uh, keep in mind that why they are there, why they are there to listen you, what is their aim to listening you, what is their goal to listen you. Not only their goal, but you will also keep in mind your goal. What is your goal to talk about? So then you are going to talk about like if later on, if you have gathered the data and everything you have collected, and you have made your mind an agenda of your presentation, everything, then you have to see that how much longer you need to talk on that topic. and how much long presentation you have to uh, uh, make for your audience according to their level. Like for example, if for you like being students, if I'm going to present non-stop 2 to 3 hours presentation in front of you, you will be unable to listen it, you will be unable to understand it as well. So according to the, what can I say, grip of the audience, according to their stamina, according to their knowledge, according to their level, you have to keep in mind the length of your presentation. Then if we talk about like this, then we need to talk about where your presentation is going to take place. Obviously you have to pick a point, you have to pick a place where you will convey your all that presentation. Then the second phase we have to face is about preparation of your presentation. So for preparation, we need to go for 3 A's. 3 A's mean one hand we are analyzing our audience, who they are, their level, the knowledge, and then we are going to say that what action we want to take them, like through that presentation, what they need. For example, if you are presenting your company's uh, some future project, so the people whom you have uh, targeted into that in that presentation, you wanted them to take interest and to invest into that project, so you want to collaborate with them. So that is the one kind of action. So this is what you have to keep in mind. Then arrange your arguments to move them. Your one argument is going to lead your other argument. So in this way, you have to keep in mind how you will move on with your arguments. Then for preparation, when you have targeted all these things, now we have to design the presentation. For designing the presentation, what we need to do, we need to make our presentation big. Big means not the length of that. Big means like the text that you have mentioned into your, that you are going to put into your presentation, that must be big enough so that everyone can view it easily. With that, you have to make your presentation progressive. Progressive means if you have talked about one point, your one point should leads your second point. It doesn't mean you are going to move backward, you are going to talk about, or you are going to repeat the same point again you have talked already. Then you have to show consistency in your presentation. Consistency will bring clarity. Once consistent your topic is, clear your points will be to your audience. And simple one means while designing that presentation, or using the format for the presentation, either you have picked some colors for your background of the slide, they should be very simple one. Don't go for the very bright color. Bright means more bright that can give your text a blur view, so don't go for it. And summary, there should be summary at the end of the presentation, so that it will give an overview what you have taught throughout that. Then if we talk about presentation, then we talk about its preparation phase consists of what points. It must have a structure, then promptness, then visual aids, then voice, your appearance, your style, and questions. All these are the points that we need to put into preparation phase, and it every point matters a lot. Let's start with all these one by one. First one is structure. When we talk about structure, here we talk about like we have to write down the presentation. Writing a presentation needs what things we need to bring first and what later on. So first thing we have to bring is objective. The very first slide that you will make about your your introduction and your topic, name of your topic and your name, and with your company's logo or your university logo. So after that, this is your first slide. After your first slide, then your second slide is about objective, like this. Let me to show it. Yes, these are the objectives I will teach you in this presentation skill, or I'm teaching you in this presentation skills: planning, preparation, practice, and presentation. So we are done with the planning. Now we are on the second objective, that is preparation. So this is how you have to make the objectives on your presentation, what topic it is having, the main I'm sorry, main elements of your main elements of your topic. Then after main elements, you have to go for the beginning or the introduction. I'm sorry, continuously speaking, talking to you guys for 3 hours. That's why it's happening. Some presentations they have definition, and some presentations just go for the introduction of the topic. So you have to pick accordingly. Then your main content. Main content means in into that what points of that topic you are going to highlight. As I am going to highlight the for example, if I'm just going to teach you, oh sorry, if I'm just going to teach you preparation phase, so my preparation phase having these following contents: structure, promptness, visual aids, voice, appearance, style, and questions. So we are on the very first one, that is structure. So these are this type of content you have to keep in mind. Content on one slide, when you are going to put all the content, then you are going to give explanation of each content. Like if we are going to talk about structure, so I'm now explaining you what structure is basically in presentation. Similarly, you have to do after that explanation of the content, you are going towards the end of your topic. So end with the summary, conclusion, and recommendation. It depends on the topic and your requirement. Either you have to pick one of these three, or you have to pick two of these. Sometimes summary and recommendations they are enough. Sometimes summary and conclusion are enough. Sometimes conclusion and recommendations are enough. But sometimes you have to pick the three of them. So accordingly you have to make it, but one of them must be at the end of your presentation. Then questions must ask. There should be a part of question from the audience, so that if they wanted to clarify any point that they can't, they can ask you questions. So keep that one slide on your presentation as well. Now structure is divided into three parts. First is introduction, then is main theme, and then summary or conclusion. So introduction is the first point that will bringing the audience attention towards your topic. So it will hold their attention. Second is main theme, and main theme is going to present the relevant topic, the content to the relevant topic. Then summary and conclusion are the last or the key messages of your presentation. So this is how we arrange the structure of the presentation. Then when we talk about promptness, promptness means don't rush or overcrowd your slides with the words. You just need to put some words into the bullet form, and these bullets can be in the form of statements as well. So you just go with it. So after that, what prompt basically do? This prompt is for your for you, that you can just get an idea of what you are going to talk about next, what point you are going to explain next. So that's why we do it. Otherwise, for audience, it is not. Audience, if started once reading your content, if you have crowded your presentation with the words, with text, so once they started reading it, they will not listen you. So that's not a good sign. And at some moment they will leave your presentation after reading some points, because if they have to read it, then what's the purpose of presentation? AV aids are very important, and you can say a backbone of your presentation, because before you are speaking, people view it, and your visual images, they make a huge impact on your presentation. Okay, so your slides will not look professional if you have written a lot of text into it, and don't repeat words and don't repeat visual images. If you have started your your ABA repeating on every slide, and you are going to put same one, so they will be useless. So your words and your ABAs, they must complement each other. And on the other hand, visual uh, aids, they are just going to bring interest of people. So your presentation means you wanted to wake up people, it doesn't mean you wanted to allow them to sleep in your presentation. It should be that much effective, people wake up into you by listening you. Then your voice is the second core part of your presentation. So voice should be very clear and very louder. Very louder means doesn't mean you are going to make it that much louder it seems like you are shouting. No, louder means like even the last person can listen you clearly. So its pitch should be normal, but voice should be louder. So that's what you have to keep in mind. Your pitch should vary, and with your volume, how it vary, if you see fluctuations, so it should be, you should have to make fluctuations. If at one point you are starting with a very low pitch, with a very smooth and calm voice, at some level where you wanted to emphasize on something and you wanted to put stress on some words, you wanted people to or you wanted to get their attention, there you can make your pitch higher and your voice will be more louder. So this is how you have to fluctuate your voice. Appearance is the third one. Appearance means like dark colors brings your business like look. Dark colors doesn't mean red color. It means like you have to wear the black or brown or gray color. So these type of colors are the business theme. Then wear comfortable shoes to weight your feet evenly. Here I wanted to say to girls, like if you are presenting your presentation, please wear those comfortable shoes where you can stand on. It doesn't mean you are going to fall onto the rostrum, so on the floor. So please wear good pair of shoes which makes you feel confident and as well comfortable. Yeah, allow yourself to move a bit, but don't move again and again here and there. It will distract your audience attention. Your movement can distract it, and you will look good and you will look confident. What you have to not do while presenting a presentation, it is about, don't lean on or grip the podium. I have seen a lot of students when they are going to lean and grip the podium, it shows that they are not confident. Similarly, don't rock and sway. That's a very odd kind of gesture when you are rocking or swaying into the place. Then standing immobile. it doesn't mean that you can't move it, and you are just going to stay on one point. You can move here and there, but that means for a short moment, that's it. Sometimes people have like a habit of using gestures while talking. So some people they talk with the eyes, some people they use hand gestures, some shoulders. So don't repeat those gestures again and again. Change your gestures, and that will bring good your bring good effect in your presentation. Examine or bite your fingernails. As you can see that it is proven through psychologically that if people are confused, they always try to examine or bite their nails. So don't do it. Don't give this kind of impression. This will show that you may not have enough words to talk about. This is a professional code for the students. Some of the universities they never allow their, especially their business students, if they come without a dress code, business dress code in presentation. So it is think that it's not professional one. So if people wanted to be more professional, they have to go for this kind of dress code. Style, yes, style means like don't copy others, please. It's not about only copying others in dressing. It means copying others in words and statements. What you are going to talk about. You don't need to copy people for their accent and what you use in your daily life normally, how with the style you talk. You just go for it. If you are just for the sake of presentation, you are going to change your accent in one moment. Trust me, people can identify it quite easily that it's a fake one, easily recognizable. I have seen a lot of students at one moment, even in my university time, I have seen a lot of my fellows as well. At one moment they are talking with the one accent, and suddenly with the presentation their accent is going to totally change, and it looks so fake, so fake. So you don't need to copy others. You are you, so be yourself. Right? As much as you are going to be with you, you will be more comfortable and you will be more easy with you. There must be a question section in your presentation so that if there will be any ambiguity in or any point that is not clear to your audience, they can ask you and they can clear it. So your message will be clearly conveyed to them, the information that you wanted to convey them. So make it like that. That's a preparation phase that is between you and your audience. So your from first idea till your last delivery of coaching and you're leaving, that's space that you cover between you and your audience. After following the sorry after all this, you have to, in preparation material, you have to keep in mind that before presentation you just try to, sometimes people do it, and it's really good one, because audience will understand you. Before presentation they can make an image, or they can make a idea about your topic, so they can easily understand further when you discuss that topic. So people bring some handouts, some personal notes with them, and they distribute among audience. It's really good idea. And then internet sources sometimes are shown for further assistance and for further explanation and detail view. They can go for it, because sometimes it's really hard to explain each and every point in the presentation. So for this reason, people can do what they can explain it onto their any website, AVAs. They can for any video if they have made on the presentation for the with more explained points, so they can go for it. Then practice makes a man perfect. Everybody knows it. So practice requires in presentation before going to your presentation and before facing the audience. What practice requires, it means you have to not only practice your text, but you also have to practice the handouts and the notes that you are going to distribute among your audience. They can ask any question among that, from that as well. So practice on this. Practice about time. time management is really important in presentation. If you are going to run out of time, maybe sometime the important message or important information for which you basically wanted to present, you will leave that. So if you are not going to present that information or not going to convey that information to your audience, your whole presentation will be a waste. So that's why manage your time and rehearse in front of mirror or friend. I never prefer rehearsal in front of mirror. Maybe I'm wrong, but my perception is what, and I had practiced it once. If you are going to practice it in front of the mirror, uh, instead of like practice, you started viewing yourself like what you are doing, how you are talking. You started you just try to notice you, not your words, not your practice like on text. So it is more better if you are going to present it in front of your friends. Yeah, they can tell to you where you have flaws and where you need to put focus. So go for it. Otherwise it's up to you. If you are comfortable with the mirror, you can. Because I'm never comfortable with the mirror. I always started viewing me and noticing me. So that's why I said. Then now we are heading towards the presentation, the last part. So start your presentation with a very good, authentic and strong point. That point can grab the attention of your audience, and that happens only within the 1 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes are really important of your presentation. Once audience is going to get involved into you, into listening you, they will never leave, they will move with you. And your voice must show your enthusiasm for towards your presentation, and your gestures must bring that spirit into your presentation, and that can show that your passion for that topic, and how much prepared you are. So show it through your body language. uh, Eye contact is, you can say, the core. What can I say, like it's a very like vital thing, and in very important thing for your presentation. If you lost your eye contact with your audience, trust me, you will never convey your message properly. You can't do it, and they will be unable to even listen you. So make that. For this reason, sometimes I know sometimes people they, for them it's really hard to make an eye contact. So to make yourself comfortable, you have to give smile to your audience, and there you can make eye contact to them. So that will settle down you on your podium, and on that stage, and your audience with you as well. So make it. But smile doesn't mean you are going to laugh. Smile means smile. This is the impact that is divided. Visual aids are going to have 55% impact on your presentation. Your voice is going to have 38%, and your text is only 7%. So you can see that how much important your AV aids, and with that your voice flow. Flaws in presentation obviously bring your presentation boring, and people will sleep instead of wake. So how flaws will be there if you are not, if you haven't practiced, if you are not interested into your presentation, if you are not experienced one. I know beginners are not the experienced one, but beginners with practice, they can be experienced one. If your material is not related to your main topic, and you haven't drawn a good outline of your topic, if you are not confident, and you are so much hesitant on the floor, and you are again and again breaking that presentation into the pauses, and going to be quiet, so that will bring obviously sleep. That will make people to sleep that, and some of them may leave instead of sleeping. So don't make it. Ambiguity in the results will bring your conclusion very different one. So match your results with your discussion, so that your conclusion will be clear. For a successful presentation, you must be very prepared for your presentation. You have rehearsal and you have done practice of it. You have each and every point in your mind related to that topic, every depth of that topic you have, so that if any question will be raised from the audience, you can answer right at that. You better know about your subject, and you have to be so positive, and don't be stressful. Don't be. If you feel stressed, just raise a question to the audience. It will release your stress level. Time, as I have already told you, time has great impact on your presentation. Don't run out of the time, so practice for it as well. Maintain good eye contact. Vary your speaking volume. At one moment, if you are with a low voice, at the other moment you can make it higher one. Then use pauses, and with pauses you can go for what you can pauses doesn't mean long pauses and you are going to be quiet. Pauses mean a little pause to hold on. And then don't read presentation, it will give very bad impression. Reading is not required while giving presentation. You just can read the prompt and you can explain that prompt. That's it. Don't stand between your audience and slides so that they will be unable to view it. Make your position they can easily view your presentation. Then use stories, questions, clips, and examples. Sometimes your personal stories, they bring a lot of interest of audience, so make like that kind of in your presentation. Then always prepare it, and channelize your fear. Don't get fear, and interact with your audience. Interaction is really important. Interaction can be, you can take from them questions, you can take you can ask them for questions, you can give them a question and you can get their answer. You can uh, ask them to for their personal stories related to your topic. You can ask them for example related to your topic. You can ask them for their experience. So that's how you can interact with your audience, and interaction can channelize your fear as well. This is another, like, they can complement each other. So that's how you have to go. Final words for this presentation is your communication, is the key. And for communication, your text must support what you explaining. Pictures, you have to put pictures from simplified one towards the complex one. Don't start your presentation with a complex concept. When you are going to find your topic and a simple statement you are going to present and simple concept, then with the passage of time, when after some time your audience will understand you and understand the topic, that starting developing understanding. So there you can move towards the complexity. Visual aids support your presentation but not distract your presentation. That's it. Thank you so much. Now whatever the questions you have, we can discuss those questions. Let me to unmute you guys, and then I will take your question.